They're like, run, Uncle Rizzo. Oh, Uncle Rizzo on that bullshit. Nope. Nope. Oh, nope. What is the deal, beautiful people? It is your boy Ramon, or Uncle Rizzo, depending on which channel you're on. For those of you who don't know, we have Lifestyles Defined, where that's where we do all of our technology stuff. And then we have Ignorant Gamers, which is, I mean, it's self-explanatory. That's where we do the gaming, baby. So make sure you check out either or both. For our longtime subscribers who've been rocking with us, thank you so much. Thank you for flooding the inbox, hitting us on Twitter. A lot of guys been on Xbox like, yo, where's the Destiny review? People are actually waiting on me for the final verdict to know if they're gonna get this game or not. I'm touched by that, guys. I'm touched by that. So here we go. Destiny. My God, this game broke my heart. I can't explain to you how upsetting this game has really been for me in the last 2 weeks. There's a lot of expectation riding on this game, and I've been casually tuning into some of the noise behind it, both from the fanboy side and the hate train, because there's a lot of that going on. And I think both sides are valid, but a lot of people, I feel like they discredit the impact that Bungie should have had on this game. And that's such a weird statement to make, right? Like, let's analyze that. Bungie for years has given us games that even when you look back to the first Marathon, I used to play that game on my Performer. I had a Mac Performer 9200, and I used to play Marathon, and I thought that was the dopest shit ever. And then Microsoft scooped them up, and they got the Halo series. And I mean, Halo was one of those groundbreaking games that broke records every time. Halo sort of is the iPhone of gaming, where every so often, you know, the world, the industry moves on without Halo, and people sort of forget about it, and they forget about Bungie. And then you know, November comes, Halo season comes every 2.5, 3 years, and people go, well, can they do it again? And they do it again, and they break records. And it's this anomaly that is really hard to understand, but from the core of that is really Bungie's crazy attention to detail and the raw talent. And this is very apparent, and I want to say this very early in this review, that Microsoft's presence is a huge problem for Bungie. Let me say it differently. The lack of Microsoft's presence is a huge problem for Bungie, and it shows up and through this game. What does that mean? When people pressured Microsoft at various E3 events about Halo, when's the new Halo coming? What is it gonna be like? Can we know something? And Microsoft would just shrug a shoulder every time and say, hey, it's ready when it's ready, baby. That's all they had to say. They gave Bungie an unlimited amount of resources and seemingly an unlimited amount of time to deliver perfection every single time. Level 20 into Destiny, I started to notice that was not the case at Activision. Now, let me tell you, disclaimer, I don't know what the fuck goes on over there at Activision, but it is not what was going on over at Microsoft. And I think behind Destiny, behind the scenes, we're going to see a lot of that team getting shaken up and really, I don't know, I feel like people are going to part ways with Bungie, and Bungie won't be Bungie anymore. They'll have this legacy, they'll have this strong brand, but the core of the team won't be there anymore. And it really sucks to see that. Like, you can't play this game with an open mind and not see the gaping holes. Enough about the politics. Let's get into it. Destiny. I don't know. I guess the first place to start would be the graphics for sure. This game is beautiful, man. I kind of wish that there would be a PC version. you guys know I've been on it. I got that GTX 780 Ti, and it's a beefy card, and I do enjoy PC gaming, although I use my rig more for video editing than anything. But god damn, man, I would love to see what this game looks like on a PC, but it didn't happen that way. It's on the PlayStation 4, it's on the Xbox One, and it looks gorgeous. Now, what I give Bungie a lot of credit for was they took their time to deliver a solid foundation on both platforms. So from the comparison videos that I've watched, from what I've played at Snow's house to what I've played coming from the alpha to the beta to the release, the game was very solid on both consoles, and that has not been the case with most games. Like, rightfully so, most games run better on the PS4 simply because it's just a more raw, powerful machine, and that's okay. But here it is, they both run solid, they both look great on their respective systems. I thought that was, you gotta give them that, man. If you give them nothing for Destiny, the game is beautiful, the environments are beautiful, the vistas are insane. And when I say vista, I mean, okay, you can talk vistas about Forza Horizon, right? And Horizon 2. But in Bungie, when you look up, you get this feeling of scale, like you really are a small pea in the universe. That's so dope to me. And there's little things like the moons will be, if you sit there and watch long enough, you'll see the planets rotating, and you'll see footsteps in the dirt on the Mars and the moon. It's just really dope, man. These dudes did a really good job, and going from the different worlds, the different planets, you really do get a sense of a different environment. You know, everything looks drastically different. It has its own feel to it. I thought that was dope. The characters are very well designed. It's definitely that Bungie artwork that people are so obsessed about, and obsessed for a reason, man. These guys know what they're doing. It's dope to look at. The items you get, the guns, the belts. Dudes got capes going on, glowing arm bracelets, like, and then you got the enemies. My God, I just can't get enough of the. I forgot the type of knight that it was, but there's a knight running around with a big ass sword that you don't want to fuck with. I love going up against those dudes. They just look so badass. Good job for Bungie for that. Now that I'm still on the graphics part, the level design throughout the game, it gets sort of repetitive, and this will tie into gameplay later on, where you're doing the same missions over and over. It doesn't matter if they're part of the campaign, they're part of the strike missions. It's the same shit over and over, and it literally comes down to cave and like, what's the other, like cave and hallways. It's like what the hell, guys? I mean, they all look really nice, but it starts to take its toll really early on in the game. In terms of sound, I feel like Bungie can do no wrong, man. Whatever that main score is that's playing is not as epic as Halo, but every bit as good. You know what I mean? Like, when you hear that Halo thing, you're just like, yeah, somebody's about to get their ass handed to them. And when you hear the Bungie thing, it gets you in that, I'm about to go hoard the loot cave. Like, whatever it is you love about this game, hearing that score puts you in that mind, and that's a great thing. The voice acting is really good. That's my boy Tyrion Lannister. Come on, guys. I don't know his real name. Don't do that to me. I don't know his name. I know he was an X-Men, but that man will forever be Tyrion Lannister at this point. Yeah, he's in there. He's the voice of your ghost, aka Cortana. And even though the character itself lacks emotion and he's never really excited, the voice acting is top notch. The weapons all sound great. The music kicks in at the right time. The vehicles sound good. The little grunts and whatnot that the enemies make are all good. It's a very handsome sounding game. Is that a thing? Can a game sound handsome? Coming to the storyline, this is almost like a half a bullet point, because there is no storyline. I've played this game to level 20. I then got to a level 22 with the light armor, and I still don't understand what the story was. And because of the dynamics of how you can hop in to a friend's game and skip certain missions and whatnot, I actually played the last mission without experiencing a lot of the storyline. And I thought to myself, okay, well, you know, that's it serves me right. I should have played the game on my own speed. So I went back and painstakingly did every mission, and I still don't know what the fuck this game is about. I can't explain to you in any coherent manner what is going on in this game. There's guardians who, I don't know, are soldiers for humanity, I suppose. There's the traveler who woke me up for some unknown reason, and there's the darkness, a bunch of shit that wants to fuck you up, and a crap load of different enemies, which I enjoy fighting, by the way. I thought they did a really good job on the various enemies. But the storyline is non-existent. And I think the one thing that really bothers me, and was probably my biggest disappointment in this game, was Bungie's ability to, at the very least, deliver a character that I cared about. I've heard a few people bitch and moan about this, and I didn't quite get it until I was like way deep in the game, and it just felt so empty. You know what I mean? And it's one of these things where you can go up to any one of my girlfriends that I've ever been with, who all hate gaming equally, and say, hey, who's Master Chief? They will A, break out in sweats, they will B, snuff you, or they will C, shoot at you. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows who Master Chief is. He's just a legendary character, and they've done a good job at, well, Bungie in the past have done a good job at building that character. Somebody we cared about, somebody we followed across the universe. Here, it's a little different, right? Because it's not a single player game. It's sort of a MMO that Bungie never said was an MMO. And for those of you who don't quite know what an MMO is, an MMO is a massive multiplayer online game. Classic MMOs would be something like World of Warcraft, that game where people play and they don't leave their house. There's a few others running around, but yeah. And Bungie was very careful not to call this an MMO. We'll get into that in a second, but yeah, the story, you can't quite develop a main character in this sort of a genre, and I get it, but if I trusted anyone with that innovation, with that bit of innovation to do it, it would have been Bungie, and they just did not deliver that. That takes me out of the game more than I thought it would. Now, let's talk about the gameplay, the mechanics. Like I just said, at its core, there's so many elements that you would get from an MMO, but Bungie is always careful not to use that word MMO. And the more you play it, the more you understand why. So, the very core of this game is grinding. You're gonna grind. You're gonna do missions. You're gonna do strikes. And you're going to do them over and over and over again. And you're going to get stronger weapons. You're going to get stronger armor. You're going to get very specialized items. You're going to get rare items, rare armor, weapons, so on and so forth. Rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. Now, this usually isn't a problem because, for instance, when I talk to somebody like Serial about Serial Killer, shout out to the IGZ boys, I talked to them about World of Warcraft. He's been in that game for about 7 years, off and on, and I try to pick his mind to really understand what makes that game so great. You gotta understand, man, they're charging like $40 or $50, whatever it is a month they're charging for access to that game, and they they've been losing subscriber base, yes, but they're still maintaining. What is it about this game? So then you go into things like, well, there's 6 or 7 different species that you can play as. Okay, let's call a species a class. In Destiny, we have 3 different classes. Okay, and in each species you get these special abilities. All right, sounds a lot like Destiny. And then he says something like, yeah, but if you are an elf and you walk up to an orc and you type on your keyboard, hey, how are you? You're not the same species. So what you just said, the communication comes across to the other player as gibberish. They can't understand what you're saying simply because they're not your type of species. And then I sit back and say, huh, that's interesting. And then he tells me about, you know, certain species are better at mining certain types of material. Like, I don't know, dwarfs would be better at getting gold than elves. Elves would be better at wood. So you mass mine and you grind for what you can get, and then you trade. You have the ability to trade. And it's like, sort of like, whoa, none of that's in Destiny. Okay, now I start to see where this MMO thing is really not tailor suited for Destiny, and why Bungie really doesn't want to call it an MMO. Okay, then I talked to Shifter, IGZ boy again, about Diablo 3, and he was telling me how, you know, there's enemies in the game, and when an enemy beats you down, he kills you. He now goes to one of your friends' game, and in your friend's game it comes up as, yo, this guy beat the crap out of Uncle Rizzo, you may want to watch out. And then if he then beats the crap out of your friend, he then goes to one of his friends' games, and on it goes. So you got this nemesis that's running around tearing it up. And I was like, wow, that's such a dope concept. And then I stop and I look back at Destiny like, where is that? That type of innovation, that type of endless thinking, that type of immersion into the world. Where is it? So in retrospect, in Destiny, we got 3 classes: a sniper, a all-out warlock who's supposed to be like a wizard or whatever, and then we got like the Titan who's just a straight soldier. These classes mean nothing. I mean, they've got their own skill trees and super moves, but at the end of the day, as a Titan, I can get a sniper rifle that's just as powerful as the sniper class. Sort of ridiculous. Sort of does not make sense. And this is one of those things I was talking about where there's so many gaping holes in the basic structure of this game. Like, guys, this doesn't make sense. Then there's the whole level 20 thing. So Bungie went on record and say, hey guys, you know, the game doesn't begin until level 20. Let's not fool ourselves. You know, the game really is, you can't judge the game till you get to level 20. So fine, I started playing the game to level 20, which in all fairness did not take long to get. I was at level 20 maybe a week and a half after the game came out, and I was behind. There were guys like way ahead of me. So I sort of wasn't too judgmental on this, but when you get to level 20, you no longer rank up on XP, meaning you can't just go and do a mission over and over again and rank up. You now have to find specialized armor that contains an attribute called light. And the more light your armor or your weapons, I think it's only armor, contains, the better your chances of or the faster you level up. Alright. Now, the problem here is, I get that. Now, that's dope. That, to me, is innovation, because it shows that Bungie's got this dream that this game is going to last 7 years, and it shows that they can achieve that 7-year mark by not doing what World of Warcraft does, which is every year and a half, 2 years, just raise the level, the level cap, and have people come back in and say, all right, level 20 is not the highest anymore, it's level 25, so get back in there, guys, get back in there and grind some more. No, Bungie's doing it differently. They have the ability to completely manufacture something new, a whole new way for you to level up. So now it's armor. Who's to say when the release of the next DLC comes out that it won't be weapons? You get what I mean? And then who's to say they can't just say, you know what, screw it. Next year, let's change it to time. Just raw time on the game is what makes you love. You know what I mean? I thought it was dope on their end. Now, where this really starts to fall apart, and I mean, this is where this game fell on its face, is the armor that you need to acquire, the legendary engrams and all these Destiny type words and concepts. They happen on a random system. So there's no way for you to, they put a level 8,000 boss out there and they say, all right, you guys beat this boss, you get this super crazy gun. No, it doesn't work like that. You guys beat this boss and you might get a super crazy gun, or you might not get anything. That frustrates me to no end. That alone was the reason I stopped playing playing Destiny. And the crazy part about it was, when I saw that loot cave video, I was all about it. I got my cheating ass in front of that cave and I shot at everything, and I was so happy. And it was sad. I was happy. I thought I was getting ahead in the game that is supposed to be this immersion experience. I thought I was getting ahead by shooting at a cave and running in there and collecting shit. You gotta understand how broken that is. And then you gotta come back and say, no, I gotta fix this. I need to play the game like it should be played. I need to do strikes. I need to do the crucible. And then you try to do right in the game and you get nothing. You get no rewards. That shit was insane to me. This game literally rewarded you for nothing. Or, you know what? Let me rephrase that. This game gave you no rewards for anything. I can't be a part of that, man. And I get it. Some dudes are about the grind, and some people are really into this game. And yeah, there's a lot going on that I'm about to get into on the gaming mechanic side. It draws you in, right? But that very simple component, that very key component that's broken, is why I just cannot play Destiny anymore. I don't want to play it anymore. There's a really dope video out there. If I can find it, I'll put in the link. I forgot who did it, but it was about a concept called cognitive flow. So cognitive flow pretty much means that it's about a positive reassurance or reward that you as the gamer, the more you play, the more you achieve, the better you get, the better you feel about the game, and the more you play the game, and it's a snowball effect. Destiny has no cognitive flow. Fuck this game. You understand what I'm saying? This game does not make you feel good as a gamer. It just doesn't. Now, the second part of the gameplay aspect that is also very disappointing is this game is Halo. I'll say it again. This game is Halo. The shooting mechanics of Halo, the way the enemies hide behind cover of Halo, the way they strafe, the invisible dudes with swords of Halo, the way the enemies come in on drop ships out of the atmosphere is Halo, the way the fake ass Cortana needs to scan everything is Halo. And you would think that this is a good thing because the mechanics of the game are rock solid. It works, people. It's a beautiful thing. But I don't want to play Halo, Bungie. You left Halo behind to create the next best thing. Don't create Halo 1.1. You get what I mean? This is what this game feels like. And then on top of that, coming off to the multiplayer, the Crucible part, oh, what a fuckfest this was. First of all, I've never played a Bungie game where the quote-unquote netcode. Thank you, Battlefield 4, that the entire industry now knows such a technical term as netcode. We shouldn't even know what that is, but thanks to Battlefield, we do. And now that we know what netcode is, the netcode in Destiny is fucked. I have so many clips recorded of me killing people from behind walls, meaning I shoot them in the face and they continue to run. I'm like, what the hell was that? That was bullshit. And then they're like 2 or 3 feet behind the wall and they die. classic Battlefield shit, which is why I stopped playing Battlefield. And listen, the Crucible is okay. Crucible is the player versus player portion, or PvP is what the gifted YouTubers call these things. It's okay. It's rock solid. The level designs are fine. You can take your hard-earned, cheating-ass loot cave dude online. Some weapons are obviously better than others. Some people deal a lot more damage. People who don't get off the game to go to sleep or go to work or go to school, you will know that they're there because they'll shoot you at one shot and your whole world is rocked. They're there. That's a problem. I still can't wrap my head around that, and how the playing field is never really even. But it's okay. I've got enough skill where I can be the underdog and do what I need to do. It's not a problem. But there's certain things missing, like matchmaking. And let me tell you, if you don't know anything about Bungie, know this: they revolutionized the way we play online games. People think Call of Duty was big with this. Like, no, guys. Bungie was the first to have that party system, and your dudes join you. And when you left a game, you could bring your party with you, and you can join another game with your party. It was no bullshit. It just worked. None of that is in Destiny. As a matter of fact, it's insane that I can only do the co-op with 3 people, when I'll have 4 and 5 people in the party, and that drives me nuts. Oh my god, I want to shoot myself when that happens. But yeah, there's so much holes in this game, and I've already been talking for 20-something minutes, man, and I can go on for another 20-something minutes about the shit that's wrong in this game. When it comes down to it, right, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say I can't recommend Destiny. It's not about it not being a solid title. It's not about them hiding the DLC on the disc. That alone, again, number 3 is why I won't be playing this game anymore, because I didn't give Capcom a pass when they did it, and I'm not giving Bungie a pass. And really, these aren't Bungie tactics, people. This is Activision. But that's a conversation for another day. Anyway, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to say Bungie. I'm not giving them a pass for that. I can't recommend this game. There's so much wrong fundamentally with this game. It's just not finished. And I feel like every day that goes by, a new story comes out about how the storyline was different. You were supposed to be a bad guy, and then they find a DLC on the disc. Then there's people out there say, oh yeah, Destiny was never supposed to be on Xbox One. This game is just one big fuckfest, man. And it's crazy that they made the money back, and it's not worth it. It is insane. Like I said in the beginning, this game broke my heart. I can't believe this is Bungie. And the one last thing I want to leave with you is I feel really saddened that the PlayStation guys, my PlayStation brethren, they finally get a taste of Bungie, and this is what it was. I feel like it's such an injustice to them. As Xbox guys, we've had so many Halos, and we held Halo in such a high regard, and not a lot of people understand it. It's one of those things, like, you get an Xbox, you get Halo, you will understand it. And then Bungie goes and they leave and they do this, and it's like, oh man, it feels like I lost so much credibility behind these guys in this game. 500 million later, and I can't recommend you buy this game. Buy something like Forza Horizon 2, where when you spend your hours grinding, you get rewarded. It's as simple as that, man. Bungie let me down. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. It's kind of long, but hit the like button if you did. If you stuck with me to the end, just slap the like button. I hope you guys are subscribed. And like I said earlier, we have the technology channel, Lifestyles Defined, and then we got the Ignorant Gamers. So depending on where you see this, check out the different channels, check out the different websites. The links are always below, people, always. It's your boy Ramon. I'm out of here, man. Peace.